Hi everyone, so today I'm back just discussing what has just happened at her sort of 2-year review. I wasn't expecting to get anything in the post at all. I'm really sorry, I've got like a little red patch here that's really itchy. So, hang on a second, princess. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to have an appointment at all. And I got a letter through the post a couple of days ago, which was delayed because of the bad weather we've had. And they basically just said, I've got my appointment this week. It was between 9 and 1 at my home address, and I would just have a health visitor come over. It was one that I've never had before, and she was lovely. So I thought I would just sit down and chat about what she said. I don't know if this is going to help anyone, whether it's just for myself and my memory, or I don't know, like, I know because obviously you guys are my viewers and you watch me and like you're a part of my life, which sounds really weird. I know like some of you have had concerns that I've had, and I've also mentioned it to my health advisor, so this is mainly for me, but if it helps you or anything, then great. So this is just going to be a really chilled video. I really wasn't intending on doing it, hence my appearance. So she came over and she sat down on the sofa, and the first thing she said to me was, have you got any concerns? And I was like, yes, I've got multiple concerns, blah, blah, blah. She was like, right, okay, go. So the main concerns I had, obviously her speech. You all know I've been struggling with her speech. Also her toe. I don't know if you guys know, but she's got a funny toe. I know I've got a couple of more subscribers than I had when I last spoke about it. She's basically got her baby toe looks like a thumb, not a thumb. Her baby toe on her right foot looks like a big toe, and it's got 2 nails on it. I spoke about her wiggly thing, which she does, and she goes like this and like this. I also spoke about something that I have never spoken about online before because it's quite personal, and I don't like talking about it, and that is that she is missing a hole in her nunny. So they were my 4 concerns, and we just discussed them. First of all, we went through this little questionnaire that I got in the post. You basically have to answer loads of different questions. So does your child run fairly well, stopping herself without bumping or falling into things? So it's just things like that. Things about communication, like building things like fine motor skills and all of that. I don't know the difference between them all, I probably should. And then she did the review at the back. So this one's empty because she actually did her one herself. In my opinion, P was quite, like, she was in the grey area, and she, like, it wasn't a concern, but they're going to monitor it. So it's obviously a concern, but not bad. So I remember she had 1 or 2 white. I can't remember which one's for. I think it was for social she was white. And fine motor I think was white. And then communication, gross motor, and problem solving were grey. And communication, I can't remember if she was in the dark, or I think it was the one closest, which is this one here. And so she was asking me about her speech, and she was saying like, does she do this, does she do that, like talk to me about it. And I was like, she says maybe about 10 words. It's quite limited, but she understands me. And she was like, that's fine. And whilst we were there, she kept saying to me like her eye coordination, like her communication and like her eye contact is bang on. She was like, I would not worry about that at all. She said her speech is delayed, which we all knew it was delayed. And she's told me to go to a children's centre speech drop-in clinic. If I just fold this over so you can't see like the locations. Speech and language therapy drop-in for preschoolers. So I'm going to do that. The thought of going to one of those makes me very anxious because it just does. I don't know what to prepare for. I don't know what's going to happen. But she said her referring to me someone straight away, it doesn't happen like that. I have to go there, I have to wait a couple of months, maybe go there again, and then if it's still delayed, then they'll then put like other things into place. But for now, that's what I've got to do about her speech. She told me only half an hour of TV time. I think that's just obviously what they're told to say. I mean, that's not reality. I don't only watch half an hour of TV a day. But what I am going to start doing is maybe just putting the radio on the telly, so there's still background noise. I can sing to her, because apparently singing is really good for her. They did say about going to like bounce and rhyme at like a library. Again, I've never been to a group. You know how I feel about that. The anxiety I have going to a group in general goes through the roof, but the fact I then have to sing, I know it's for my child, but I'm being completely honest, I'd probably ask if Neil can do that, because I just don't think I can do it. I'm struggling at the thought of going to this, but I'm going to do it. So she said about going to bounce and rhyme, and stuff like that. So she said to turn the telly off. What else did she say? She said about asking questions. So for example, P picked up her ball and I was like, what is it? Can you tell me what that is? Like obviously me trying to get P to say that, and the lady said, instead of constantly asking multiple questions and P getting confused as to which one to answer, like you say, like, that's your ball, instead of asking it a question, make it like a statement. So she said like to do maybe 4 statements to 1 question. I can't remember what she said. I've literally just processed so much information. I'm trying to get it out on video so I can remember myself what has happened, if that makes any sense. So she said about that. She also said about like repeating things. So at the moment P used to say like done, but she now says dumb with an M. So I was asked like, should I be correcting her? And she was like, yes. Like, don't be angry, just be like, yes, well done, you are done. So reiterating the correct word as opposed to being like, no, that's wrong. It's like, do you know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't tell them it's wrong, you should just repeat it the correct way. So she said about that. So speech and stuff, it is what it is. I've just got to obviously follow these steps and just see where it goes. Next was, we'll talk about her toe. She said just to take her to the doctors, which is what I'm doing this weekend. We've got a doctor's appointment booked before I even knew about my health visit that I've just had. So she said to obviously bring up the concern about her toe. I'm so sorry about the way I look. I look awful. But yeah, so she said just to mention it at the doctors, see what they say, because at the end of the day it's them that can do the referral. She said it might just be something that they just leave, but when she was born and stuff, they said it should grow out, but it hasn't. It's overlapped, so it's overlapping like the toe next to her baby toe, and that's also pushing the toe next to her big toe over, so that might give her issues as she's growing up, getting into footwear, and also like a self-conscious thing. So she said definitely mention that. But there wasn't really too much said about that. It might just stay as it is, or they might try and do something in the future. Wobbly thing, let's talk about that. I don't really know if I've spoken much about it online. I've put a video of it on Instagram. People said epilepsy, people have said, what else have people said? Like itchy bum, having a seizure. I've been told by people that it could be a sign of autism. Like, I've had so many things thrown at me and I'm like, what is going on? Like, I don't understand. So I said to her, like, I filmed it, I showed her a couple of videos of P doing it in different situations, and she was doing it whilst the lady was here, which I was so glad that she got to see it firsthand. And she said she thinks it's a stimulation sort of thing, like when she's, I don't want to talk about it because it makes me so uncomfortable. I'm not going to say what she said. I'm not going to say it. But if you think of the word stimulation, something on the floor, and her going like this, you can get the gist. And she was like, it's not stimulation like as an adult. It's like completely different. It's just a comfort thing, which it just freaks me out. She said to definitely bring that up at the GP as well, just to see what they say. But yeah, when she's doing this, like she was doing this quite a lot, she said that, and I also asked her, I don't know how to react to it. Do I tell her off and say, no, don't do that, like, come on, like, let's not do that? Or do I just let her do it? She was like, leave her alone. Just let her do her thing. If that's what she wants to do, that's what she's going to do. Don't force her to stop it because it might affect her in other ways. She was like, just let her do her thing. So I was like, okay. Because at the moment I've been trying to get her to stop doing it. So now I know when she does it, just leave her well alone. She said distraction is a really good key thing to do. So like if she starts to do it, it's like, come on in, let's go play with some bowls. Or play with some bowls, play with some toys, I don't know. Let's go get your tea. So distraction is a really good thing for when she's doing this. Pardon? You want your ball? Yeah. So that was that. And then finally, you're gonna get on the bed?
Yeah.
Go on then. And the other thing is her area. I discovered probably like 6 to 8 months ago that she is missing a hole. And I've never discussed it on here because it's my daughter's privates, you know what I mean? It's not something that I'd like to speak about online. But I asked her, I was like, look, she's missing a hole. Like, I've spoken to like 2 other health professions. One said that it was perfectly normal, and the other is saying that she used to work in paediatrics and I should get a referral. I was like, what do you think? She didn't look at it, but basically P has got a wee hole and a poo hole, obviously, but she's missing the hole in between. I've googled it, and like people say like it can be quite common, but the lady today was like, that needs to get sorted, like that's a concern. So she said on Saturday, when I've got this doctor's appointment to speak to him about it, just try and get a referral. She said you want to get a referral for paediatrics, which is fine, it's what I thought that would happen. And she said that that might also be linked with P doing this thing. It might be her in some sort of pain and this causes her relief. So there are things that are like interlinked, we think, but we're not too sure. So she said to obviously she said just to so she said obviously to get that sorted at the doctors, get a referral, and take it from there. But other than that, that was pretty much what was said. They took her height and her weight. She's 84 centimetres high, she weighs 23 pounds, and she was like, she's so diddy, like she's tiny. And she was like, that's obviously not like the health profession's way of saying it, but she's diddy, it is what it is. And she was like, is like your fiance tall? And I was like, no, like we're both the same height, like 5'4", 5'5", like we're both very, Neil's like 1.5 inches taller than me, so we're the same height. So she was like, don't worry about it, like there's nothing you like, you can't make her grow. She asked about her eating habits, which is as fine as a toddler can be. She asked about potty training, but I said because she can't communicate, I don't think she's ready for that yet, but I'm going to try in the summer. And she said yes, that's a good idea, like nappy free, place potties everywhere, like 3 around, like 1 in her bedroom, 1 in the bathroom, 1 in the sitting room sort of thing. So she said that that's a good way of doing it, like at least I've got an idea as to when I'd like to start doing it. She asked about her sleeping habits and I said yes, she's fine, apart from at the moment we've just cut out her dummy, so she might be like a little bit ratty and harder to fall asleep because she doesn't have it. And I said that also might affect her speech, so because we've now taken it out, in the next month or so she might suddenly start saying more words. So again, it's all like her speech might have been hindered by her dummy, so now I've taken that away, it might improve. So that's where I'm at. About nursery, she was like, does she go to like a school environment, like preschool or whatever? And I was like, no. I was like, I don't understand the system. I was like, I don't know the difference between nursery, preschool, playgroup, like I don't get it. And she was like, okay, that's fine. So she sat down and spoke to me. She said they're all basically the same thing, they've just got different names. They're all done by Ofsted, they've all got like the early learning starting thing as well. She was like, and I was like, but why do some only have 3 hours and some have like a day, like you can go all day? That's just the way that those preschools or playgroups or nurseries are run. Daddy's not coming home, baby, Daddy's at work. You've still got to wait like 6 hours. Yes, you can watch Pepper in a minute. If you want to get her into nursery, you can, but legally you don't have to worry about it until she goes to school. She was like, it's up to you what you want to do. And I was like, no, like we do want to get her into it. At the moment we can't really afford it. She mentioned about the whole sort of hours free childcare and stuff like that. She was like, if you're under a certain wage sort of thing, you're obviously entitled to them from the age of 2. And I was like, no, we earn over that, we don't get any help at all from the government, so we have to wait until she's 3. And she was like, well, when she's 3 you get 30 hours free. And I was like, I don't think you do. I was like, I think I have to be working a minimum of 16 hours. She's like, yeah, okay, you might be right. So regardless, when she turns 3 we'll get 15 hours free. So hopefully that means that I can then go into work and try and earn or do 16 hours, then she can get 30 hours free. But I also asked whether we need to start looking into placements now, because Neil is really keen on getting her into playgroup or preschool, nursery, whatever you want to call it, because he knows that I need space from P, something I haven't really spoken about, but I'm really struggling being a full-time mum. I just can't. I am doing it, obviously. I can't do it anymore. I have lost myself as a person. All the days merge into one. That's not me complaining and taking for granted what an opportunity I have to raise my child, but because I get no help from any family. I've got help there, but I don't like, I say I've got help there, I've got my dad, but he works full time, so the only help I get is at the weekend, and weekends are family time. So I don't really have the help, and I struggle to ask for help because I'm an only child. It's me, like it's my responsibility, and I depend on myself. So I've made it worse for myself. But going off topic, I'm struggling to deal with P constantly, so Neil is hot on it. And he's like, we need to get her into nursery so you can have a break and you can appreciate the time you have with P, because at the moment, like, I'm shouting at her all the time and it's not her fault. We just spend too much time together. I'm with her 24/7 and I just need a break. So Neil wants to try and get her into nursery in September. We'll have a term of paying for childcare. Well, like, she will get her funding after the term after her 3rd birthday, so January, after Christmas. So we're trying to get her in September, so then she'll have a term, or like that section, and then we'll get it for free. So I've just had a lot of questions answered, and it's really just lifted a massive weight off my shoulder. Yes, okay, we're not out of the woods with loads of things. I've still got so many things to worry about, but I've just had that reassurance. And I know a lot of other people have had really, like, horrible health visitor appointments saying you can't have your child drinking milk out of a bottle. She was like, oh, I see a bottle on the side. She didn't even say any of that. She didn't say anything at all. She was like, how often do you give it to her? I was like, in the evening. She's like, yep, that's fine. Like, I had the best health visitor appointment it could have gone. She was so helpful, and I just thought I'd sit down and just word vomit to you all and to myself. So that's where we're at with P's healthcare visit. She's November, December, January, February, March, April. She's almost 2.5 years. So I've got a lot of action points, I've got a lot of homework, but I feel happy. I'm glad it was done. I'm glad I had the lady that I had. We've got a review, so she sent me the homework to go to the speech clinic. Then I'm going to see her in about 4 months' time. So hopefully in that time P's made an improvement. But I'm happy that I've got this lady, and yeah, I wasn't even intending on doing this video because I didn't know how the appointment was going to go. I was going to vlog today, but I'm glad I've just done this as a sit down video, like I said, mainly for myself. But if any of you have got any queries or anything, I don't know, hopefully this has helped you a little bit. Probably hasn't, because they're all personalised to the child and what they're going through. But I feel glad that it's done. But it's one more step to getting somewhere. So I'm going to end this rambly video with me not having any makeup on and talking about a load of gobbledygook. I need to go and do P some lunch. But yes, thank you very much for watching. I hope this has helped in some way. Probably not. Hi everyone, so I thought I would quickly add this little section onto the end of P's I don't know what I'm going to call it, like health visitor 2-year review, whatever. We have just got back from the doctors. I also apologise about my face. I've got really bad spots at the moment. Just got back from the doctors, so it's the same week. We had the health visitor on Thursday. Today's now Saturday. We had our doctor's appointment, and we discussed the issues that I've also mentioned in this video. So he checked out her nun. I know I should call it her vagina, but I call it her nun. And he didn't seem too concerned about it, which I guess is what I was expecting. He said that it's not really a concern until they're about 5, so just to keep an eye on it over the next couple of years, and see if anything develops. Hello? Have you gone shy? He then got P's toe out, and showed them P's toe. So she's got a really flat, I can't remember what I've said in the video already, but she's got a really flat baby toe that sort of looks like a big toe. It's like the size of like a thumb. It's got 2 nails on it and she doesn't use it because it crosses over, and he looked at that and he was like, yeah, like I think we should get a referral to paediatrics for that. So that's good. Like we wanted a referral, so we've got a referral to paediatrics. I don't know what they're going to do, but we've got something in play. He said when we go to paediatrics for her toe to mention about her nun as well, just to get another like medical professionals advice and second opinion, third opinion, whatever. So that's what we're going to do. And then we showed him the video of P's wobbly thing, is what I like to call it, and he was asking us loads of questions like, are you able to distract her, and ask like instances as to when she does it, and we went through all of that, and he said that he'd like to do a separate referral for P for potential epilepsy. It's not like set in stone that that's what it is and that's why she's doing it, but he just wanted to be sure to rule it out that it isn't epilepsy. I said to Neil in the car, I was like, I don't think it is epilepsy, but apparently epilepsy is more than just like, to me it's like strobe lighting making you have a fit. I don't see how it can be that, but I also would like to have tests just to make sure that it isn't that. So that is now the full update. I haven't got anything else to add at the moment. I will obviously do an update about P's health, I don't know what I'm going to call it, later on when I have them. But hopefully it's helped in some way. If you've got concerns, go to your GP like I have. I'm definitely fighting my corner. I've had to constantly speak to health professionals about this, and we're only just getting heard, and she's 2.5. So see where it goes. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all in my next one. Bye.